Third reading of House Bill 1585, Senate Draft 3, relating to the University of Hawaii.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have Senator Ruderman?
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in opposition.
Proceed.
Thank you. This bill does exactly one thing for certain. It kills the 30-meter telescope. It's a $1.4 billion project which will bring more high-paying jobs in the private sector and private sector construction jobs and than we've ever seen before in our state. Often we profess to want high-tech projects to come to Hawaii, but now we propose to sidestep the legal process to kill a project that has spent 10 years moving forward in good faith. Often we hear of a chilling effect on future business. This is a deep freeze, door slamming in the face anti-welcome for the next job-creating tech proposal that so many of us say we desire. We're telling the world that besides the tedious, time-consuming nature of our due process, we will also pull the rug out from under you at the last minute, regardless of legal rulings. One cannot say they support this bill and are not opposed to TMT. This bill is above all else a death warrant to TMT, unfairly, without public input or due process. The moratorium is intended to punish UH for mismanagement and perhaps right some wrongs, but the only real victim is TMT, a private venture that has done its best to proceed legally with community support through our labyrinthine permitting process. The benefits of this project to Hawaii in quality job creation and educational benefits is unsurpassed. The Hawaii Supreme Court is currently reviewing the appeals regarding the permit process. It's their kuleana to do so. That's due process and the legal way forward. We must not, with one sentence that has never seen public input nor due legislative deliberation, negate the legal process and kill a major project. The label gut and replace rightfully carries negative connotations to our observers. Sometimes it's used unfairly. In this case, it's well-deserved. The moratorium part of this bill is a major new proposal with massive consequences, which was inserted without due process in violation of Senate rules. So if we're successful, we're embarking on another long series of appeals and challenges, instead of relying on a long-established legal process which is underway and which this bill sidesteps. If unsuccessful, it undermines public support for fair play and due process and reinforces the impression that we do whatever we want regardless of laws, rules, and due process. I am neither blindly pro-TMT nor blindly opposed. I support TMT if its permits are legal and oppose it if not, and I believe in the rule of law. But I highly value fair play, the legal process, and most importantly, the fact that democracy necessarily includes the public. The demo in democracy means the people. Sometimes that's inconvenient and time-consuming, and yet it's the most important aspect of what we do, and the thing that legitimizes what we do. Saying one has talked to a lot of people and feels a sense of urgency and has good ideas does not remove the requirement for public input, fair play, and due process. Although we know this bill will likely not survive as is, still I urge my colleagues to not abandon respect for our process by approving a bill which is in violation of the most basic principles of our process. Those who speak of wanting to advance high-tech in Hawaii, who advocate for economic growth so our kids can live here, who want to advance business and educational opportunities in Hawaii, your words will ring hollow if you vote for this bill. This bill will kill the biggest high-wage job creator and educational booster our state has ever seen. The 30-meter telescope is the largest private sector proposal we have ever had. This huge, consequential project, being unfairly targeted by this bill, deserves fair play and due process. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent?
Madam President.
Senator Kahele.
Madam President, I rise in strong support of this bill.
Proceed.
Senators, colleagues, this is a tough issue. But this legislature, both the House and the Senate and those that came before us, take on tough issues. It is our highest duty to the state of Hawaii and its people to find solutions to the state's most pressing needs. And just like Kaho'olawe was 40 years ago, Mauna Kea is the Kaho'olawe of this generation. Dr. Martin Luther King once spoke of the fierce urgency of now. And I truly believe, as evidenced by other failed projects in this state, that there is such a thing as being too late. We are at a defining moment in our state's history, and it is time for us, as the leaders of this state, to raise our level of consciousness and understanding that the care and the protection of our aina, from the mountain to the sea, is part of our kuleana, our responsibility. The legislature has now completed 10 public presentations and community listening sessions that has resulted in hundreds of conversations with people all over our islands. And there is one thing that resonates time and time again, and that is we must do a better job of protecting and managing Mauna Kea, and it cannot wait any longer. We need to stop tearing apart the very fabric of our community. We need to hold state agencies entrusted with the care of Hawaii's most precious natural resources and wonders accountable. You know, my dad would often say, we are all in this together. And only by working together can we restore balance and peace on Mauna Kea through the aloha that exists in each and every one of us, which makes Hawaii the special place we all call home. Colleagues, I humbly ask you to support this bill so we can continue this conversation into conference with our partners in the House. Mahalo, Madam President.
Is there any further discussion?
Madam President.
Senator Kim.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in reluctance in opposition to this measure.
Proceed.
Thank you. Madam President, I certainly agree with the remarks made by the senator from Hilo. I believe that we must continue the conversation about Mauna Kea. And there have been many bills this session on that and that conversation. However, at the same time, I think it's very important that we adhere to our rules. And so, based on our Senate rules, rule number 23, public hearings on bills, this bill contains significant and substantial amendments that the public has not been provided an opportunity to submit testimony. And so, to be consistent in my support of transparency in government and following our rules, I must vote in opposition. Mahalo.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Green.
Thank you, Madam President. In support, I just would like to say that the irony of this is that some people, and I respect their opinion, may have reservations about passing this bill today, where we still have 3 weeks left, because of a lack of transparency. But in reality, we often don't get any input from the neighbor islands. And the good chair from Hilo has actually taken this dialogue much further than any other bill that's been debated this session. So my initial discomfort because of rules, internal rules that we make, in this case is outweighed by the fact that Senator from Hilo really went the extra mile to get thousands and thousands of pieces of input from people on Big Island and other islands. So I know the rules are important, there's no doubt, but he has gotten incredible input, so I'll be supporting him today.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Thielen.
Thank you, Madam President, Vice President. I rise in opposition.
Proceed.
Thank you. I agree with the senator from Hilo that we do need to act, and that's why I will be voting to support House Bill 1985, although with some reservations, because that bill sets forward the dialogue that we've been, the good senator from Hilo has been leading around the state about having a new management authority. This bill, however, House Bill 1585, it's not a matter of just violating our internal Senate rules. It's a matter of the constitutional requirements that any bill that we pass into law has to have a public hearing and an opportunity for the public to testify. So the senator from Puno very eloquently raised those basic democratic principles that were violated in this bill. But it's also unnecessary, because if House Bill 1985 is to pass, that would create a new management authority that would be responsible for managing Mauna Kea. And the provisions in this bill requiring the University of Hawaii to do certain things would be irrelevant, because it would be the new authority that would be tasked with passing the administrative rules and making the management decisions that the University of Hawaii has failed to make over the last 10 years. So therefore, I oppose this bill and prefer that we move forward with the other that the good senator of Hilo has done so much work on.
Is there any further discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Can we show up hands? In opposition, Senator Inouye, Senator Thielen, Senator Revere, Senator Taniguchi, Senator Ruderman, Senator Kim, Senator Espero, and Senator Takuda. Are there any reservations? Senator Green, Senator Baker, Senator Ihara, Senator Gabbard.
Fifteen ayes, 8 noes.
House Bill 1585, SD3, passes third reading.
Third reading of House Bill 1985, Senate Draft 2, relating to land use.
Is there any discussion? Senator Ruderman.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise with reservations.
Proceed.
This bill is also a gut and replace bill, which I normally oppose on principle. However, I do support this bill with reservations to allow the discussion to continue because all the concepts in this bill had public hearings and due process at some point along the way, at least in the Senate bills which previously contained these concepts. In that sense, to me, it is not the same as the recent bill whose major concepts were never vetted in public nor with due legislative process. While I have concerns for the process, I commend the senator from Hilo for his Herculean effort to address a big issue with fresh new ideas, to craft a consensus, to listen to all concerned and incorporate their concerns. I also commend him for big picture, outside-the-box thinking, which is so welcome and so needed here. He took the radical, unusual step of talking to and listening to all those concerns and the impacted citizens. I recommend this practice be widely used generally. Go talk to the affected people instead of hiding things from them as long as possible. What a concept. Talk to the people and listen to them. So that I do have concerns about the process, but because these concepts had public input and the support of Senate committees, I find it a tolerable use of this procedure and will support further discussions with reservations. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? If not, is there unanimous consent? Is this a no vote or reservations? Reservations. Senator Thielen, Senator Green, Senator Revere, Senator Baker, Senator Taniguchi, Senator Ruderman, Senator Kim, Senator Ihara, Senator Gabbard, and Senator Shimabukuro. No votes? Senator Inouye. Senator Takuda.
21 ayes, 2 noes.
House Bill 1985, SD2, passes third reading.